Awesome. So welcome to our session. Thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you so much to Richard and the bio team for putting on this amazing event. It's been incredible. I feel like my mind has exploded with information and knowledge over the last couple of days. So thank you so much. So we are talking about the importance of building a digital community in the next 20 minutes. So I hope we can give you a bit of background about Independent Oxford and why we started it, but also kind of explain the impact of building this community, and also provide some thoughts on how to grow a digital network and give you a chance to ask some questions. So do feel free to pop questions in the chat as we go, or save them to the end. Up to you, completely up to you. Cool. So a bit of background about Indie Oxford. So Anna and I met in 2014 at Wilderness Festival in Oxfordshire. My business, A Rosie Life, and Anna was working for the old fire station in Gloucester Green at the time as their marketing manager. So we both were kind of discussing idea about creating some sort of community for indies, and we really wanted to kind of get something going. So we thought collaborate forwards. So we decided to launch Independent Oxford. We just felt that quite tricky in terms of trying to build some sort of community for independents geographically, because everything's kind of split out. We've got the city centre, but then, you know, Summertown, Cowley is quite disparate. So we wanted to create a digital community where people could come together and really kind of celebrate the amazing businesses that we have in our city. So that was kind of like the basis for why we set up. But we really felt that, you know, indies do kind of make our city really unique and colourful and vibrant. And if we lose them, we really lose a part of our history and our kind of collective identity as a city. So we really wanted to kind of help build resilience within the indie community. As we like to say, Anna, our favourite little saying is, the bigger the pie, the bigger the slice. If we all work together, we're all so much better.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that, you know, you can apply that, our lovely pie saying, to your customers. So the bigger the customer base, the bigger the slice everyone gets of that. But I think that really comes into its own when you talk about a community as well. So, you know, the bigger your support network, the more support you can potentially get if you need it. And so, you know, because running your business or running a business, any business, is really hard. You know, you have to be multi-skilled. You have to have the finance. You've got to do the HR. You've got to be the marketing person. You've got to do everything. And, you know, that is hard. But also you've got to manage those ups and downs. You know, you have those tricky points. You have those brilliant ups. And so you have mistakes and you learn from those mistakes. And I think it's really important that you have that community behind you to, one, help pick you up if you make those mistakes and give you that support, but to help you celebrate those wins as well. And I think that's definitely what Rosie and I have, well, I think we have done it, actually. We have been doing it for the last 5 years, not trying to, but have been doing it for the last 5 years since
Absolutely.
2015. Yeah.
Perfect. From those kind of those roots of Indie Oxford. So we launched in 2015. We had a great launch at the Annie Sloan shop on Cowley Road. We had about 5 different indies came along. So it was all about collaborating, supporting each other. And it was really, a really great event. And I think, you know, the indie community really got behind us and showed that they really wanted to work together and, build a really great network. Our initial focus really was on shops, because we were working at shops, and we talked to other shop owners about kind of this amazing community that we wanted to build. So we were talking to like Indigo on Cowley Road and Fairtrade St Michael's, who are in the city centre. But we soon branched out into hospitality and leisure industries as well. As businesses really saw the value in kind of working together and being being part of this community. And then since then, we've also added B2B businesses to our community as well. So we really wanted to kind of work with people that could support our current members.
Yeah.
So whether that's kind of like back office type services that, you know, all businesses need, so that they had that there, a part of the community as well. So it's kind of a win-win for those businesses. The B2B businesses could get some more customers, but also, you know, our members, you know, were getting, you know, services that they really needed as well from trusted suppliers. So it's kind of a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the ways we've definitely changed over the last 5 years, isn't it? And but, you know, the growth that we've actually seen since those early beginnings in 2015 have been incredible. We started off with something like 20 people on our directory, and now we've got 120 members all across Oxfordshire, so not just city centre. We get 20,000 page views on our website a month. We've got 15,000 followers on social and a really engaged mailing list of over 1,000 people. And I think that's really it, is that, you know, some organizations have much more followers or larger page views. But the one thing that we know about our community is that they're highly engaged. You know, they really, really want to interact with what we're saying, but also what our businesses are saying and what they're offering. And I think there's that side of it, but there's also that element that they want to feel part of our community too, and they really value that. So they value the ability to find out more about businesses, but they really value feeling part of something, especially something that's local to them, because they also need a support network. You know, it's not just the businesses, the public need a support network too. And, you know, so many studies out there have shown that, you know, people who have, you know, meaningful relationships with other people, and who connect on a regular basis with people in their communities are more content, they're happier, and they're more resilient in general in their life. And one thing that we found is that people who are in those positions and connecting with their communities, it makes them much more open to new ideas and collaboration.
Yeah, totally. And that is really the bit of Indie Oxford that Anna and I absolutely love. We love meeting new people. Striking up new relationships. That's the kind of the core of what we've been doing, and it's great to be that is our job, and it's fantastic. And it just means that we're always kind of inspired with new ideas and possibilities and different avenues to look at. So we've worked on a real kind of like diverse range of projects over the year, including the Indie Oxford Compendium, which we did with Jackie, who is here today, from Business Oxford. But we worked, you know, we've also worked with the City Council on 2 incubator stores in the Cover Market, which showcased over 20 businesses to give them a space to test the market in the city centre. And then we've done things like business skills workshops with amazing businesses from across Oxfordshire, and also collaborated with local media to really kind of promote the indie scene in Oxfordshire as well. So yeah, so it's been a really interesting 5 years in terms of broadening our network and strengthening our community.
Yeah, and I think the interesting thing for us is how we've seen that those projects have really tapped into our public audience, and you know, people have really wanted to be part of those projects too, you know, and I'm sure Jackie would agree that the enthusiasm we saw behind the compendium was fantastic, and the same can be said for the incubator stores that were in the Covered Market. And like I said before, it's really about people, again, wanting to feel part of something and feel connected, and find out more about the people behind businesses. You know, we look at so many business websites and social media profiles, and we see, you know, a profile that doesn't really have a sense of who that person is behind the business. And that's something we always work really hard with our members to, you know, get them to focus on. Because people want to know the story behind that business, and they want to feel more connected to the city, but they also want to feel connected to their local town and village. And I think we've definitely seen that, a renewed sense of that community support for businesses during lockdown. People are really valuing shops and local producers, and I think they're really enjoying the takeaways that pubs are doing as well. I think that's fair to say. And was it Finder recently, Rosie? They revealed that over a third of Brits actually intend to use local independent stores more when lockdown ends, which is a fantastic stat. I mean,
I'm just putting it in the chat now.
Thank you. Cool. And it shows that people do want to invest in businesses that one, are local, but two, I think we found that it's about businesses that share your values and kind of feed that basic human need for community.
Yeah, totally. And I think that people have been talking about it in the chat actually, but I think lockdown has really kind of emphasised the importance of digital communities for indies, and has enabled them to pivot and offer new products, new services, which have been kind of vital to their survival the last couple of months. So being able to kind of leverage their current audience and looking at ways to increase their online reach has just been absolutely vital. So we've been helping our members, so kind of looking at ways that we can really help grow their online audience, and just helping them in lots of different ways, but also giving them that reassurance that they're part of a bigger organization, a bigger community as well, which I know has really helped a lot of businesses over the last few months. So we've really doubled down on the support that we've been offering. So doing things like weekly meetups. So previously we were doing monthly meetups. So we've been doing weekly meetups on Zoom, just so that people can come together, connect, share knowledge and experiences, and just have that space where everybody can just be like, is it okay? Am I okay? Which I think is really important to have that at this time. And then Anna and I have also been doing Facebook Lives in that. So we've got a Facebook members group for independent Oxford members. So this is a space where, we've been helping to share kind of resources on growing your audience. So things like how to create a more engaged following on Instagram, or how to grow your newsletter list, those kind of things are just kind of really tangible things that businesses can do, hopefully fairly quickly, kind of be proactive about, and help to kind of grow that audience, and therefore kind of get people to support their amazing new services and products, and all those amazing takeaways.
Yeah, too many takeaway options to consider, or too many brownie takeaway options to consider, actually, which is not good for the waistline during lockdown. Yeah. Yes, Jackie, so much food, and you would know what was running then. Cool. Okay. So, like Rosie said, online communities and hopefully physical communities, when we get back to it, have been absolutely vital. Ones like Independent Oxfords, but also ones like Bio Here, have been really vital to people getting through lockdown. And Richard and the Bio team have also been doing their webinars too, to reach out to lots of different audiences. So what Rosie and I are going to do next is give you 5 kind of questions and key things to think about how you build your community online, and how you can perhaps encourage that more so. So if you haven't already, grab a pen and paper, and Rosie and I will go through them with a couple of examples as well. So the first one is about your brand voice, and about what you say and how you say it, because that really matters. We found with so many businesses that we work with, it's about the authentic, genuine voice of that business owner that comes through. People say people buy from people, and that is just so true. I mean, there's no other way of saying it. People do buy from people. And there's an example of that we really like. So Indigo, who we already mentioned, their newsletters, they're not the typical kind of short, snappy, marketing speak for just kind of like, get it out there, it's got to be all flashy. No, they're actually quite long. But the way that Sarah and Josh write it is lovely, because it gets you to connect with them emotionally, and really kind of shows the power of, and I'm not a fan of this term, but I'll use it because it does work, of the relation shop. You have that relationship with that business. So that's a really good example. The second point is, you consider how you're growing quality relationships with the people in your community online. An example of that we like is a company called Taste Tibet, who do street food. And they've massively grown, actually, haven't they, over the last few years, doing lots of different festivals and takeaways in Oxford. But they have a scheme since lockdown of pay it forward. So you can purchase a meal from them and then pay it forward to buy a meal for NHS frontline staff. And they've also had a competition on Instagram that they've recently started to engage their community, and it is #Momo Beauty Contest. So the idea is that you purchase their momos and take pictures of those momos doing various different things. But that's a nice, just kind of funny way of getting your audience to engage with you. The final one from me, this is point 3, is what's your vision and your values, and how are you inspiring people to join you on that journey? And the example that we've got for that one, and I know Sarah's here, so hello Sarah, is You Underwear. This is a really good one. So they have a buy one, give two promise. So when you purchase from them, they will provide underwear to communities, because they believe that underwear, although we take it for granted, a lot of people don't have that. So they believe that underwear should be universally available to people in all communities. So that's another example of how they're really getting you to buy into their values. You might just enjoy their product, but actually, there's an extra bit of good that you're doing as a result of purchasing from them.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so I just got 2 more points to complete the 5 to think about. So the 4th point is, are you enabling your community to participate, share knowledge, and contribute to a common goal? So, I mean, I hate to blow our own trumpet.
No, blow it.
But I will. So we do a lot in terms of building and sharing knowledge through our membership, but we also do it on our social channels as well. So one of the community hashtags that we've built up over the last 5 years on Instagram is #IndieOxford. This has had over 11,000 uses, and it's a great way of businesses being able to share their stories and their journeys, but also it means that the public can use it to share their experiences as well. So it's almost kind of like a review tool, so that both the public and businesses can really engage with one another and share their indie journeys together, which is really important. And then my 5th and final point is, how are you establishing a community of trust? And I think most of you will know the old marketing mantra of know, like, trust, that you have to know the business, like the business, and then trust the business to buy into them. Those are the kind of 3 stages. And so building that trust is just so important, and it's really easy to do it, especially if you're an indie, because you've got that kind of personal connection that Anna was talking about with Indigo. And a really good example of this in our community is Pompet in Summertown. So they've been open for about 18 months now. And obviously they've been hit really badly by the lockdown. So they've started doing Pompet at home. And one way of them being able to get their amazing kind of customer service experience and just the whole kind of Pompet world across to people at home is just putting in some really nice little details in their takeaway. So things like if you order a bottle of wine, you get a little sheet with the tasting notes, and they also give really detailed instructions of how to prepare your food at home. And so it's just those things that kind of build a really nice kind of trusting rapport between the business and the consumer, which I think is just so important. Cool.